Hey, good morning. So here we are on the morning of day 3 of our 4-day hike. We are staying at a campsite right outside of Lambert's Meadow shelter. Today we're going to go about 1.5 miles or so uphill to the Tinker Cliffs, which are supposed to be some of the most beautiful views, and we've heard that they're from a section hiker that was staying here last night. He said they're even better than McAfee's Knob was yesterday. So looking forward to that. We're all a little bit tired, a little bit worse for the wear. Slept pretty well last night though. Again, we've been blessed with some beautiful weather and had the right equipment too to be very comfortable. So I'll show you what we have here for the setup. I've got kind of a mess coming out of my backpack there, but as I'm getting everything put back into it, got the Montbell sleeping bag. This is the Down Hugger #1, and it is rated with the EN rating, which is a third-party testing that does rating for sleeping bags. I like it because it's third-party and it's standardized across the board. So if you have one brand that says they're EN and another brand that says they're EN, you know they were at least tested the same. So, morning. It's a hiker coming through. We are right off the trail. So this one is the Down Hugger 650 #1, 23 degree Fahrenheit. Probably got into the low 40s last night. I slept with a hat on and just my regular shorts and t-shirt. I didn't have to put on my long johns or anything like that, and was actually sweating and had to open the bag up a little bit. So this bag has kept me very, very warm. I also have the Eno, this is the double nest hammock. And I bought the Eno straps for it as well, which are probably more expensive and heavier than other straps that you could get or make yourself. If I was more experienced and was going to do it, or had been more experienced, if I was going to do it again, then I wouldn't have bought these straps. I would make my own. But they are very nice and easy to set up the hammock with. So they do work well. I did have my rain tarp set up last night, which was the Eno Fly you see here. Also, the rain tarp, which did very well. I was very happy with that. But again, thankfully didn't need it. And this is Seth's setup over here. He actually has the underquilt, which he's very happy with, and he's got the bug net on his. And you can see he's got some different straps that are probably, like I said, lighter than mine and probably work better or just as well. So that's a nice underquilt system. He says it's keeping him warm, but like I said, it hasn't gotten to be too cold yet for any of us to really test our equipment. But he did say he got a little bit cold last night, whereas like I said, I was sweating. This is a bear box. They just put this bear box in this site, I think in July of 16. It's very nice and very clean. Unfortunately, some people apparently are putting trash in some of these, but that's how that works. Just opens up there and keeps the bear out of your food and other smellables. And it's maintained by this RATC, which is the Roanoke Appalachian Trail Committee or Council, I think. I don't know, but they do an absolutely phenomenal job of maintaining this trail. I gotta tell you, I gotta give big compliments to them. They have just really kept it clean and well marked and maintained, and have done a great job. So big shout out to the RATC. They really are doing a good job keeping this place up. But you can see here we got a nice little creek coming through, which felt great to dip our aching feet in last night. Actually, I think I was the only one that did it, but anyway, it was ice cold, really just reduced the swelling down, cooled those blisters off, and felt really good. And we got Dan over here. We're cooking our breakfast. We're taking our time. Got Dan's set up here, hammock. I am probably going to switch from a hammock back to a tent. Although it's been great on this trip, it's because we've had the nice weather. However, even with the rain fly, I don't feel like if it was raining that I would have a good place to get my stuff, to get changed, to cook, to do that kind of thing. Would be all under a fly, which would be more cramped and probably not as dry as a tent would be. So I think I'm gonna go back to the tent from the hammock. I forgot I also have this Thermarest pad is what I've been using under there to help keep warm, which again probably didn't need, but worked out well anyway. And you can see that the trail is right there. We're just literally right off the trail. So I've got my Walmart trekking poles, which seem to work really well. They were 17 bucks. I can't tell why the more expensive ones would be worth the $100 and something that the brand name ones cost. You know, I know they probably have a little bit more comfortable handles and better straps, and maybe if you were a thru hiker then they would be worth it. But if you're somebody who's like me, just going to go out for a couple of weekends every year for a few days at a time, then I think the $17 ones probably will meet your needs just fine, and it's not worth it. I think the three biggest things that are important for somebody when hiking and backpacking are the backpack itself, because you're going to be carrying it and you got to watch every single ounce. Your boots, which you can see here. I have my Obos boots, very comfortable. I didn't even have to change the arch supports right out of the box. They're nice. And other than my feet just getting a little bit of hot spots, just because they'll do that the first few days as you get adjusted, but otherwise the boots have been very comfortable. Most people go with trail runners or a waterproof shoe or something like that instead of boots, it seems like, for the Appalachian anyway. I'm glad I have the boots just because I'm not as well trained as the thru hikers, and I do have a little bit of weakness in my left foot. I had back surgery a couple of months ago, and still have a little bit of drop in my foot, and so the boots give me a little bit more stability. But for people that don't need that, that's fine. You can see my Smart wool socks there. Those are great socks. I've heard a lot of people doing some reviews on the Darn Tough socks. I'm going to probably buy a couple of pairs of those just because they're about the same price as the Smart wool, and they have a lifetime warranty. But I do strongly believe in the merino wool socks. They wick that moisture away really well. I like the natural fibers, and so they do well. Oh, and I forgot the Obos. They actually will plant a tree for every pair of shoes or boots that you buy from them. So that's kind of nice. I'm all about planting more trees. And then, like I said, the bag itself, the backpack, is another thing that's very important. Now, I've had this bag since '98, so it's almost 19 years old. You can see from the patches it's been around a little bit, and it's held up very well. I actually had a thru hiker yesterday ask me how in the world I still have this bag after all it's been through, and I said, well, that's just how they made them back then. But the problem with the way they made them back then is that it's really heavy. This bag weighs about 6 pounds, just empty, whereas a newer bag would weigh about 2 to 3. So I'd save 2 or 3 pounds, which doesn't sound like much, but when you're hiking, every ounce you feel and makes a difference. So this was the Osprey Advent, and it's a great bag. The features are great. Everything's still great on it. The only thing is it's just heavy. So your bag is one of the main 3 things that you will make a big difference for you. Your boots, your feet, and then the last thing is how well you sleep at night, which is your sleeping bag. So if you're going to invest, or if you're going to skimp on equipment, that's fine, do it. But don't skimp on a sleeping bag, don't skimp on boots, and don't skimp on your backpack, because those are the things that will weigh you down or will make you so uncomfortable that your trip will at best just be uncomfortable instead of fun and enjoyable, and that's the whole point. But we did get to sleep next to the running water last night, which you can hear. People pay good money for those sounds, and we slept out here for free. So
What'd you just say?
Seth thinks that that's a ridiculous thing to say, but I'll let you decide. All right, that's all for now. Have a good day.